Stop scrolling. Go look at your Calla Lily right now. If the leaves are turning yellow, stems are flopping over, or it has been months without a single flower, whatever you do, do not reach for fertilizer. One wrong move can speed up root rot and kill your plant in days. Here is what nobody tells you: everything you think you know about saving a dying Calla Lily, it is probably wrong. Yellow leaves, overwatering, no flowers, more sun. Yes, sometimes. But most of the time, you are treating the symptom, not the actual disease. In the next 10 minutes, I will show you a 10-second diagnosis, the exact ancient mineral trick professional growers use, and the one watering rule that keeps your Calla Lily thriving indoors, even if you have killed every plant you have owned on. Stick around, I am revealing the 2 mistakes that make this mineral backfire completely. Let us save your plant. Before adding anything, we need to diagnose. This takes 10 seconds. Check number 1, the finger test. Push your finger 1 inch into the soil right now. If it feels wet, muddy, or soggy, stop. Your plant needs air, not minerals. Adding anything to wet soil suffocates roots faster. Check number 2, the smell test. Smell the soil. Does it smell sour, swampy, or like rotten eggs? That is root decay starting. Check number 3, leaf clues. Look closely at your leaves. Yellow leaves but veins still green, like a green web on yellow. That is mineral deficiency, not a watering problem. If your soil is wet right now, do not leave. I will show you what to do first, then when it is safe for the mineral. If your Calla Lily is dying indoors, the number 1 killer is staying wet too long. Calla Lilies like moisture, but they hate soggy soil. Soggy soil cuts off oxygen, roots rot, and your plant basically drowns. Here is the fix. 1. Check your pot. Does it have real drainage holes? Not pebbles at the bottom, that is a myth. Actual holes. If not, repot today. 2. Empty the saucer. Never let your plant sit in standing water. 3. Fluff the top inch of soil with your finger. This lets oxygen in and speeds up drying. 4. Move it to brighter indirect light for faster drying. Your soil needs to go from wet to slightly moist between waterings. Once it is damp, not wet, we can use the mineral the right way. Okay, this is the exciting part. Thousands of years ago, ancient gardeners traveled miles to collect white crystals for their soil. They knew something we forgot. It is called hydrated magnesium sulfate, or you can just call it by the name you will find at Walmart, Target, or CVS for about $5, plain Epsom salt. Yes, that Epsom salt, the bath stuff. Here is why it works. The science in plain English: every green leaf contains chlorophyll. Chlorophyll is like your plant's solar panel. It turns sunlight into food. And right in the center of every chlorophyll molecule, a magnesium atom. No magnesium equals no chlorophyll equals yellow leaves. It is really that simple. When you water with plain water, you are giving your plant a drink. But when you water with magnesium-rich water, you are giving it a meal. Magnesium unlocks nutrients in the soil, helps your plant absorb everything else it needs, and actually triggers flower production. This is not marketing hype. This is basic plant biology. And this issue is everywhere across the United States, especially in states with sandy soil or frequent watering like Florida, Texas, Arizona, and California. When you water often, magnesium just washes away, and most fertilizers do not provide nearly enough to fix it. Here is the exact recipe. You are going to want to save this video or write it down. Step 1. The ingredients. 1 gallon of room temperature water. Tap is fine. And 1 tablespoon of plain Epsom salt, unscented. No lavender, no eucalyptus, nothing fancy. Just the pure stuff. Step 2. The mixing. Pour the Epsom salt into the water and stir for about 30 seconds until it is completely dissolved. You should not see any crystals floating around. Quick important note. Before you apply, make sure your soil is slightly moist, not bone dry, not soaking wet. Slightly moist is the sweet spot. Step 3. Soil drench. Pour the mixture slowly right at the base of the plant. Keep going until water runs out the drainage holes. That is how you know the whole root system is getting those minerals. But wait, there is an even better way. This is what professional growers actually use. Step 4: foliar feeding. Here is a cool fact: plants absorb nutrients through their leaves about 8 times faster than through their roots. Take the same mixture, pour some into a spray bottle, and spray the leaves, both top and bottom. Really focus on the yellow leaves. Within 24 to 48 hours, you will actually see green returning. I am not exaggerating. Within 7 days, the yellowing stops and new growth appears. And within 3 to 4 weeks, your first bloom. Here is the most important part: do this once every 3 to 4 weeks, not weekly. More is not better, I promise you. Now I have to give you 2 critical warnings. Listen carefully, because this is where people mess up. Mistake number 1: adding minerals to wet soil. If your soil is already wet and oxygen poor, adding anything is like piling weight on someone who is drowning. Fix the drainage first. That is why we started with the diagnosis. Mistake number 2: overdosing. Too much magnesium actually blocks other nutrients like calcium and iron. Think of it like vitamins. 1 pill is good, 10 pills will make you sick. If you overdo it, here is what you will see: leaf tips turning brown and crispy, and white crust forming on the soil. That is salt buildup. If that happens, do not panic. Just flush the soil with plain water for 2 to 3 minutes, let it drain completely, and then wait 2 weeks before doing anything else. This is exactly why we started with that 10-second test. It saves your plant and your time. Here is the golden rule, the one thing that will keep your Calla Lily alive indoors. Water only when the top 1 to 2 inches of soil feel completely dry to the touch. Forget the calendar. Forget watering every Monday. Forget what your neighbor told you. The only thing that matters is this: stick your finger in. If it feels dry at the second knuckle, water deeply. If it is still damp, put the watering can down and walk away. Now here is something most gardeners do not know about United States homes. Our tap water is often alkaline, especially in Arizona, Texas, California, and Florida. Alkaline water, with a pH above 7.5, can actually lock up magnesium. You could add all the Epsom salt in the world, and your plant still would not get it. The ideal pH for Calla Lilies is slightly acidic, around 6.0 to 6.8. If you think you have alkaline water, you have got 2 options: use distilled water or collected rainwater for your Epsom salt solution. Or grab a cheap pH testing kit from Amazon. And here is a quick fix: once a month, add 1 teaspoon of organic apple cider vinegar per gallon of water. This lowers the pH and unlocks those minerals. Think of it like opening a clogged pipe. If your goal is flowers, and let us be honest, that is why we grow Calla Lilies, here is your bloom recovery checklist. Light, bright, indirect light. Near an east or west window is perfect. Too much direct sun stresses the plant, and too little light prevents blooms entirely. Water stable, not soggy. You have got this down now. Feed smart. Too much nitrogen gives you lots of green leaves but 0 flowers. Look for fertilizer with higher phosphorus. That is the middle number on the label. Remove spent blooms. When flowers fade, cut them at the base. This redirects energy to new growth instead of wasting it on dead flowers. Do not panic about dormancy. Here is something nobody tells you. Calla Lilies can go dormant when temperatures drop. If your plant yellows and dies back in late fall or winter, that is completely normal. Just reduce watering, let it rest, and it will come back in spring. Let us do a quick recap before I send you off. 1. Diagnose first. If soil is wet, fix drainage before adding anything. 2. Apply the mineral. 1 tablespoon Epsom salt per gallon. Soil drench and foliar spray for fastest results. 3. Follow the watering rule. Top 1 to 2 inches dry, then water deeply. 4. Watch your pH, especially if you have hard water. 5. Give it the right light and feed it smart. That is how you get blooms. Now it is your turn. Here is the truth: your Calla Lily is not difficult. It is not dramatic. It is not hard to grow. It just needed one thing it was not getting. And now you know exactly what that is. So here is what I want you to do. Go buy Epsom salt today. It costs less than your morning coffee. Do this treatment tonight. Take a photo right now. Then take another one in 7 days. I promise you, you will see a difference. And when you do, come back and comment it worked so everyone knows this is real. Right now, comment with one word about your main issue. Type yellow if your leaves are turning yellow. Type droop if your stems are weak. Type no blooms if it is healthy but will not flower. And tell me, is your plant in bright light or low light? I read every single comment and I will reply with the exact fix for your specific setup. If this video helped you, hit that like button. It helps more plant lovers find this trick. Subscribe to Gardening Story for more science-backed plant fixes designed for real growers who want real results. I will see you in the next video. Until then, happy growing. Your plants are about to get very, very happy.